chairman spoke about the practical paper, most of them are going to be common. One thing which I would like to tell all dear students, I'll go back to my time when I did my final examination. Madam, this is to be noted. Only 19 days of preparation before examination, only 19 days before the examination, I started my preparation because I failed in the previous exam, unfortunately. So my knowledge was there, but the point which I would like to tell is that 19 days actually has given me a different kind of thought process in for preparation. Now, the most important part which we all have to understand, the students have to understand, the universe of our question is only and only going to come from study material. Please keep it in mind. There cannot be a question which is going to come out of the study material. This is the reality. Am I right, Chairman? Whether it is practical, whether it is theory, both are only going to restrict till study material. Now, the universe means very simple, that number of chapters in every subject which is defined in my study material. So let us put our thoughts clear. So this was my learning also. When I wrote in that 19 days examination, my total was 456. Both groups cleared, only 2 papers less than 50, which was 49, 49. That's all. And my chairman is more knowledgeable than me, I know for a fact. He got much more marks than me for the students. But that getting 400 magical number itself is more important for us. We should not deviate from there. That's one point which I would like to tell each of my students. Don't think it is 15 days left. It is the best 15 days which is left for you to perform. Right? Now, that is one part. That means first I define my universe. I understand what my universe is all about. Now, number 2 is basically the comprehensive study which we do, or a summarized study. Both I'll talk about. In detail, in summary. I'll put it together. In the previous attempt when I wrote my examination, I always complained saying that, time is not sufficient. But it is not that fact. The fact is rightly said by chairman again. When you are doing problems, you are doing on calculator. When you are doing theory, it is more worst. Actually, what you do is you think you are memorizing the thing and you remember everything. It is not possible. You will remember things partially, not that 70, 20, 10. No, I'll say 70% you will remember right. 20% you will struggle to write. But the 10% is the crux. That means the core sections or the core provisions, the core words, the core statements are those 10% which you actually miss out. Now, whatever you have performed, did a revision for or studied for, what you need to do is first and the foremost thing in mind very clearly, if this chapter is come in the last attempt, previous to previous attempt, this will not come. Boss, please understand when I'm telling that the universe is such, 100 marks is defined, then what is there left out? That much only is left out. So might be the institute will ask you a question which is of 16 marks, 12 marks, 8 marks, 4 marks, 2 marks, 1 mark, again back to 8 marks, right? So you do not know. When the examinations are being conducted, when we do an analysis, we also sometimes feel that the score on this particular chapter has been low. We have to enhance. So might be a repeat question might come from there. So you do not know. And I have gone through that suffering when my father told one fact that don't leave any chapter. So the point which I am trying to tell you is don't leave any chapter. If not 8, it will be 4 marks. If not 4 marks, it will be 8 marks. So don't go for living chapters. The universe is very small. Analyze, think, get it. Don't think about 8 subjects together. Think about the subject which you are studying. Point number 1. Number 2, what is important is in most of the cases people ignore Bare Act. Bare Act, generally what you should do is only for the flow of, at this point in time, if you have left it, I don't want you to go back and open the Bare Act. But what you need to understand is what is the flow of sections which you need to make. Means a defined flow chart is there, because laws are not written here, there, and here and there. It's basically a flow of information which is there that will give you confidence that this flow of information is rightly being done. A subject which is there without any act, that also, like example, costing theory is there, accounts theory is there, and multiple other topics are there, subjects are there where the theory is there. Now, other part, you have gone through the theory part. What I request you people is, rather than studying from page 1 to page 10, what you do, example, you take directors. Now in directors, start scribbling on your piece of paper that what is there from the beginning, appointment, qualification to the completion of a term. That entire thing you need to write it in a very simple manner. And what is core, like example, board meetings or any other audit committee, or might be independent directors requirement, this, that, you tell anything. There is a specific more than, less than, equal to. Those provisions are something which we actually miss out. So what will happen is, during these 15 days, just take out 20, 30 minutes, not more than that. Whatever you have studied, just start scribbling in a brief note on a piece of paper, wherever you get a piece of paper, newspaper, anything, start writing. Sometime what you should do is start talking to your parents. They might not understand what corporate law is. They don't understand what income tax is, what GST is. But the point is, when you start talking to them in general terms, right, you will understand that, these are the places where you have left. So theory paper, just tell you one thing, we don't want thesis to be written from a chartered accountant student. What we want is, to the point, answered. You will not believe, I'll give you my example. When I wrote, indirect tax paper, I could not complete the full set of one booklet. And I got 68. How do I get 68? Mean I wrote very specific what was being asked. Now that raises one more point. What is that point? Whether I understood the question right. What happened is, advantages into something else into something else. So first sit down and understand what is the question being asked. Sometimes the question are asked in a negative form. Sometimes questions are asked in positive form. You need to understand what is negative and what is positive, right? So please read that question effectively. What has happened in past, I'll tell you a couple of students, they start writing the answer and then they strike it off. Why do they do that? Because they think that earlier they thought was right, and then by cutting that, they waste the time and energy, and then they start writing the answer again. That means the energy is gone waste in the process. So just for a moment, you are lucky. During our time, during our chairman, president, vice president, madam, you also know it. We never had one-day exam leave. We never had 15 minutes before surplus time given to read a question paper. Our 3 hours means including reading the question paper and writing the entire answer. So please, you have got that benefit. Don't get into excitement. Don't get into worry. When you peacefully think about reading the question, you might have read an answer only once, but you don't know the power of your brain. Just relax. You will get back so many points which you can comfortably write, which makes sense. Don't write unnecessary things in paper. See, if you are intelligent to write unnecessary things in your answer sheet, the examiner is furthermore intelligent, because the examiner is being made as an examiner by writing examination and scoring 70% marks. That means he is intelligent enough to understand your answer. So be precise in writing your answer. Don't write unnecessary things which is deviating. One more thing which I request you all, you don't prepare in the examination condition. You take any one paper, even today, tomorrow, in just shortest time, whichever one theory paper you take. What you do is close your doors for 3 hours. Understand how you are writing that paper. Trust me, that learning of making a mistake will give you confidence. It is not, don't get demotivated. You get confidence saying that, oh, this would have been wrong in my examination process. Let me learn. Very good. Thank you, BOS, for making it possible, for making us understand that we are making a mistake. It's worth rectifying, as rightly said by the chairman. The cricket team, the best players actually go one day before on the ground to see what the pitch is all about. Where do I hit? If I want to hit a shot, what it can be. So this is a pitch preparation which you need to prepare on and think in an ability that, okay, this mistake would have been in examination. Let me rectify now itself. Don't get demotivated. Again, I'm telling you. Nothing is wrong, boss. 3 hours will save one attempt. Remember this. We have done mock test. People have participated in huge numbers. Some people have not done it. That is their choice. But at least now, do it. Madam, you will be surprised to know in certain theory papers where we have to write 100 marks paper, where I could not attempt 80 marks also. In my last attempt, I attempted for 120 marks. Just imagine, only by writing it right and writing it to the level it is required. But for you students, don't do that attempt because there is a different marking system now. Now, the point which I am trying to drive is, when you are planning, sit down, take your paper, take your past examination paper, start scribbling down, whether it is in summary, whether it is in detail, what do you want to write. In the 3 hours, demonstrate, play as if you are going to, you are writing examination. Automatically during examination, you will get the success. Now, lack of putting it in a sequence. Somewhere, students, what they do, they jumble the entire answer. They know the answer, there is no doubt. But what they put is, they put it in different, because of that anxiety. That anxiety, you need to kill it and put it in a sequence. That is nothing but the specie writing which I am talking about will give you that capacity or capability to do it. And most importantly, see, in all answer sheets, when you write answers, in practical training, there is step-by-step marks. But in case of theory, there are certain statements, there are certain words which carry certain weightage. And it has to be in context. It cannot be lying in the air. Right, madam? बहुत बार ऐसा होता है, वो बोलता है कि मैं ये word तो लिखा ना सर. अरे word लिखने से कुछ नहीं होता है. You have to write it in the context, because the examiner is a chartered accountant who is valuing your paper. Please understand. Most of the time when people take the answer sheet, they come back to us and ask the BOS, I have written this. But the fact is, this is not the context. The context is gone out. Only by writing a word or a statement, you will not get marks. You need to go in a particular flow. Then only you will get marks. So these are a couple of things which I thought, I should share from the theory point of view. And believe me, first, remember one thing, the universe of your question is only and only study material. Number two, visualize subject-wise what you want to do, how the flow of knowledge is going to be. Number three, write in a precise manner which gives you a confidence that you are not missing out on the critical points. Number four is primarily writing in a particular context and a flow of information. As again, I am telling you, the examiners today, believe me, the kind of process of examination is there. It is transformed to a total different level. Living in a myth that, I have done everything good. No. Do good in a right context is something which you need to look at. So theory papers, as you rightly said, madam, all of us have done very good only because we understood the subject in a flow. You cannot learn subject in isolations, right? It is not a story book or